So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Joseph Valentino. I'm the Executive Director of Blueprint Global. Today we begin a story of Bahia Papagayo, a bold, sustainable, and visionary master plan community set in Papagayo on the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, the most upcoming and prestigious area of Costa Rica, where you will find the world's most prestigious resorts in the world. When it comes to the sales team, in front of me, we have Mark Randall and William Porteous, and along with David Harries, he's the president of Ryan and Delorier Marketing Agency. Together, we're here to present to you the amazing Bahia Papagayo development. Our development backbone combines the innovation of Enjoy Group that owns 13 restaurants and 7 hotels in Costa Rica, along with Grupo Laguna, a well-rooted company building real estate in Costa Rica for the last several decades, the creative excellence of Gensler and Garnier Architects, and our strategic oversight at Blueprint Global. The developers and professionals behind this project are Costa Rican companies and families building for Costa Ricans and for people around the world who appreciate Costa Rica and want and love this country and want to have a piece of real estate in this amazing place. This isn't just real estate. We're selling really a lifestyle. Bahia Papagayo is built on 5 pillars: sensory experiences, sustainability, integration, well-being, and connectivity. These are values reflected in every aspect of a community. Here, the visionary master plan is to build 650 homes with villas, condos, retail shops, WeWork spaces, many different venues. We're creating a destination. It's a real connection between people, place, and nature. It's not a resort that displaces. It's a destination that integrates and enhances the lifestyle of people in this area. It'll be really a place to own real estate. Again, our vision is life in balance. It's about balancing people and place and nature. It's about having a place that people can integrate with nature and have access to the ocean and all the beauty that is found on the west coast of Costa Rica. So Bahia Papagayo isn't a typical resort development. It's a new model for tourism. We're creating a destination that brings value, not just to visitors, but to the people and the ecosystems that surround it. By working closely with local communities and respecting the natural environment, we're building a place where tourism coexists with preservation, where wildlife thrives, where local culture is celebrated and not displaced. It's a vision of tourism that is inclusive and forward-thinking. At Bahia Papagayo, we're rethinking the traditional separation between development and environment. Environment is a very important part of Costa Rican culture. This project is only built on 30% of the dedicated project land. Instead of building around nature, we're building with it. The master plan weaves homes, trails, gathering spaces directly into landscapes, preserving natural features, promoting biodiversity, and creating everyday moments of connection with the land while protecting the sensitive areas such as the mangroves. It's about designing a community that feels rooted, alive, and in harmony with its surroundings. It's not a typical project that goes in and clears lands and builds home, and where the first initial mindset is about efficiency in the sense where the developer makes the most money possible. No, we've built homes around trees. Our design, if you look at our villas, we are building around trees and avoiding to disrupt the natural environment. So we're really sensitive to that. And within that, we're only 20 minutes from the airport. Bahia Papagayo is the closest oceanfront master plan development to an international airport in Costa Rica. From landing to lounging, it's about 20 to 25 minutes. It's really, really a huge advantage in Costa Rica. So destination, this is a full ecosystem of experiences, from beach club to farmers market to co-working spaces to amphitheaters, yoga decks, cafes, and museums, even medical services. It's a walkable, livable village, a master plan community that will change the region. We are creating a destination and you will own a piece of it. Having a piece of real estate in this downtown, as you want to call it, of Papagayo, you will have a prime real estate, the best location in Costa Rica. At this point, I hand over the microphone, as we can say, to Mark Randall. Actually, to I would say, sorry, to David Harries.
Thank you, Joseph. It's wonderful to be here. And before we go into the inventory that's available in phase one, villas and condominiums with Mark and William, I'll just situate, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of coming to Costa Rica, situate exactly where we're located, where the parcels are located. And just a little bit of housekeeping. There is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. If you'd like to ask questions, if there are questions that require, one of the salespeople to get in touch with you, they will. If it's a general question, we'll certainly be more than happy to answer. So please feel free to ask questions with that little Q&A button down at the bottom of the screen. And any questions that we don't get to today, we will make sure that we circulate them to everybody. So this is the Bahia Culebra, which is now Bahia Papagayo, with the Papagayo Peninsula, with the Four Seasons. That certainly it's been around for 20 years, and it really was the catalyst for luxury in the region. The Ritz-Carlton recently opened. The Andaz is open. There's a marina just across the bay. And on our side of the bay, the south side of the bay, the Waldorf Astoria is open. The one and only has announced and started construction. The St. Regis is in construction, and we are positioned, these are obviously very, very expensive five-star brands. We are positioned to become the downtown for all of these brands. They're all gated communities, and so our anchor is the El Mangrove. We've already sold 10 out of 13, and one is reserved, so 11 out of 13 villas that are there. That's our phase one, and you'll see those little tan areas there are the parcels that we're going to get into in a second. And as Joseph said, the Liberia International Airport is just off to the right of the screen. So this is where we're located. So the parcels I was just referring to, we've got the El Mangrove residences, which are 80% sold, with the one that's reserved. We've got two left, a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom villa there. However, the 4 parcels that you see here, Sereno is 90 villas. Artesano is a future site that we will be developing. El Pueblo is the heart and soul, the downtown of not only Bahia Papagayo, but the Papagayo region. And Amanecer is also a future site. But the focus of this presentation is on El Pueblo, the village, with the Museo condos and the seaside condos. And Mark will tell you a little bit more about those. And then also the Sereno villas that William's going to be speaking about. So mobility, very important that you don't view these parcels as independent parcels. We have connectivity, mobility. It's very easy to move from parcel to parcel. I'll get into that in a second, but we've reversed view here. So now we're looking to the north. The previous screen was looking to the south. We're looking to the north. And so you'll see the Sereno villas, which are on the right of your screen. And then the El Pueblo village is on the center left. In terms of the connectivity, not only between the parcels, we will have a transportation network. We're very close to the beach, and I'll get to the beach in just a second, but there are 5 access points that we're going to talk to you about. So while we are not directly on the beach, you will see the darker green is mangroves. We are not touching the mangroves, very respectful of nature. However, there are existing places where the residents of Bahia Papagayo will be able to access the wonderful ocean. Amenities, probably not enough time today to get into, whether it's restaurants, whether it's the water taxi, which is going to go from our beach club across the bay to the Four Seasons, or down the bay to the Marina Papagayo, parks. And as Joseph said, we're only developing 30% of the land that you see on the screen. So our footprint is very, very light. We will have theater, we will have the amphitheater with events, we will have food and beverage, we will have sporting activities. So, just no lack of things to do at Bahia Papagayo, the downtown that the Papagayo region honestly has been yearning for. Public spaces, we're not only talking about the folks that are going to be purchasing and bringing, important economic momentum to the region. This money is going to stay in Costa Rica, and as Joseph said, two very important families run the businesses in Costa Rica that are responsible for this very gentle development, but the public as well. Whether it's the town of Panama, where there are going to be folks creating jobs and opportunities for them, whether it's Playa Hermosa and Playa El Coco, whether it's Liberia. It's very important that we stress that there are public spaces here, and it's not just about the owners coming and using all of the goods and the services and the wonderful things here. We anticipate that many local Costa Ricans are going to enjoy Bahia Papagayo as much as our owners will. So the 5 beach access points you can see going from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there will be no congestion. The beaches in Costa Rica are public, and it'll be very easy for all of our owners, especially Sereno and Museo and Seaside Condominiums, to enjoy our transportation system to get to the beach club, which I will talk to you about in a moment. So where tomorrow's connections begin, we'll show you some renderings of how amazing this place is going to be.
Mhm.
So this is the Village Entertainment, El Pueblo Entertainment Venue and Restaurants. This is a huge full moon plaza with an entertainment stage. We expect people from all over Costa Rica to come and enjoy entertainment weekly. And underneath this raised walkway, which you can walk around, there will be 4 or 5 absolutely fine dining restaurants for our owners to enjoy and the local population. This is an aerial view looking at the village condominiums and the retail with the Chorotega Museum front and center and the Bahia in the background. This is at night, the same view with the Moon Plaza that you can walk, and you literally walk over the top of the restaurants, and you see an event happening in the background. This is underneath the elevated walkway with the village retail. Another view of the village retail and the co-working that Joseph was speaking with you about. We're in the process of negotiating with many local suppliers, vendors, experiential retail establishments, and we're going to speak to you about those in a little bit. But you'll see the sand is replicated here. It's a coastal community, and it's going to thrive. Another view of the village retail. This is looking, you'll see one of the Museo condominiums off to the left-hand side. This is how you would enter into the Moon Plaza underneath the illuminated screen. Another village retail with the co-working space, 2 stories in the background. And the co-working is designed for digital nomads, people that can come for 2 or 3 months a year. They want to work here, or Costa Ricans that want to come and they want to spend a week. We're going to talk about the rental program, very important. And we have one of the best rental programs that we as companies working in the real estate, luxury real estate space have seen, where you have the opportunity to rent it on your own. You can rent it through a third party like Airbnb, or we can manage the rental for you. But certainly your rental guests are going to enjoy the co-working while you're enjoying the revenue that will offset some of your costs. This is another view of the Museum of Chorotega Culture. Another view of the co-working space. This is over towards Seaside Village. This is closest to the beach club, where there will be local events celebrating local culture. And more village retail with the sand sidewalks. And now we're jumping to the beach club, which is across the street from Seaside. And you'll see this in the map when Mark gets to this, but this is the sense of arrival at the beach club. The beach club is there not only for our owners, but also the guests that are coming, driving rental revenue, and this will be on the transportation network. So very easy to get here. And there will be special places within the beach club specifically for our owners, private VIP to enjoy. The beach club will have an infinity pool right on the water, a poolside bar, ocean views. And finally, the beach club will feature a spa and a wellness center for everybody to enjoy, not only owners, but their guests, and very exciting.
Mhm.
So at this point, I'll hand it off to Mark to speak to you about the condominiums. Mark?
Appreciate it, David. So first, I just want to thank, I know there's a lot of owners, existing owners that are listening and watching, and it's been a pleasure to meet everyone and just see their enthusiasm for the project, same way we feel about it. So first of all, thank you to those that have supported us to this point. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Seaside Condos, which is our first phase to sell out, essentially. That area was about 40 to 50 yards from the beach, so there was a draw there. Just beautiful setup there. Finishes similar to what we're going to see and talk about in Museo, but just there are opportunities, but just to kind of show that we're not the first in the game, that things are evolving already, and we are sold out of those seaside residences. We'll talk about Museo. You can see there that we're about 50% sold in Museo at this point. There were more Museo residences compared to the seaside, so relatively, they are the most popular right now, being in the town center, access to the beach club, walking distance for both. So keep that in mind. Just a few more available in Museo, but same level of pace that we were selling here with Seaside on those. Go to the next one. Am I paused here?
Right. There could be a technical issue. Let's just
Yeah, maybe on that side.
Sorry,
So as I was mentioning, the Museo is just going to be about another 30 to 40 yards from the seaside location. So there you can kind of see where the Museo and the seaside condos are in relation to the entire project as far as the master plan. And here's a little bit bigger breakdown. As you see, the seaside already sold out, but just another 30 to 40 yards, and you're in the Museo condominium area. Also a little closer to accessibility for the commercial spaces, so your coffee shops, your restaurants, you're walking outside your door. And then also just access to the beach would be through the boardwalks that are going to be in the mangrove, but also along the roadside, the sidewalk and the bike path to the beach club, which is on your right-hand side there, lower right-hand side. So you can kind of see that proximity. This will outline just a little bit about where, again, that top left-hand corner is going to be where your seaside is located. You'll breaks you down here into a little bit about the retail area. 4 would be kind of where our new real estate sales gallery is going to be moved to. So we're in a temporary one right now, as you can see behind me, the models, but we will have a dedicated space in the town, which is we're all anxiously awaiting. The pointing out kind of where the WeWork space is at, also the Cosi, which is a sandwich shop locally here. So we are, to David's point earlier, we're working with local families and bringing in the cultural tastes, which is important. Event Plaza, we also covered a little bit on. So you can kind of see here, the Museo buildings are the number 8. So you'll see how they're centrally located and accessible to all the amenities, which is really the biggest selling point for those right now. What I'm hearing from people that purchased a Museo, they really like the idea of being in the center and having accessibility. So Museo condos, 48 total. I mentioned we're about 50%. There are an array of 1-bedrooms. We are left with only 1 2-bedroom at this point. So those seem to be a little bit more of a draw to them. But we did have more number of 1-bedrooms. So again, selling at kind of the same pace. We'll talk a little bit more about that remaining 2-bedroom as we progress here. But here you see the rooftop pool. So there is an elevator from your parking level. We'll talk more about that all the way up to the rooftop. And then you have your finishes there on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there to give you a little taste. And we'll go more in depth with that as well. So starting with building A, so that way we can also point out that remaining 2-bedroom. This is a great, in our visual virtual toolkit, we do have this available to you so you can navigate it yourself. But you'll see here the layout just kind of pointing out your first level being your parking and your private storage. And then moving up to your second level would be your residences, your third level residences, and then your rooftop is on the above the third level. Again, pointing this out here. Fantastically laid out. You have your pool, you have an outdoor grill area. You also have a seating area to enjoy what you've cooked. Beautiful views of the forest. You're at the treetops at this point. There may be some slivers of water from the rooftop. We'll know definitively once they're completed. And then your bottom right-hand corner kind of points out where that building, where it's situated. You have building A, B, and C, which contain the 48 residences. But here you get an idea of where it sits, and then you have your marker there showing you where the beach is located. We'll go through some of the floor plans here. So the one bedrooms that we do have available, type A would be one that's available to you. These start in the 400s. So just kind of pointing out some of the features there, just well thought out. Again, I think we highlight the outdoor space here. That's really important in Costa Rica. Weather's generally nice enough to get out there. And even when it's not, these are covered balconies, so you can kind of enjoy that. We can move from here. You'll see here the finishes. Again, in this case, the floor plan A does have the retractable wall there. So if you're entertaining guests, you can close it. If you're not, you can kind of enjoy the space a little more open. It is the smallest floor plan of the one bedrooms. So I like the idea that that space could open up. Here's our virtual walkthrough here. So we're going to click on this here and just take a quick view here, kind of showing you. We would chat a little bit about, if you have any interest here, let us know. There are some incentives that would, we can talk about the furniture, fixtures, and equipment, but you can see very well thought out, your quartz countertops. There's a great view of what the treetops view would look like. Your finishes, your wall art, very well done. Again, in light colors to kind of go with that beach feel. Going into the bedroom here, so you see just the way that complements, and then you'll see, again, the natural woods that we're using on the ceilings and on the walls. Just, again, whether it's the exterior or the interior, the whole design is about a relationship with nature and even with the finishes. And you'll see that on the textures on the walls here on the outside of the balconies, instead of just plain concrete, the stones for the balcony floors. Again, just this complement of nature versus luxury throughout, not just the residences themselves on the exterior, but also in the interior. And that's really important. That's the vision of the developers. I think we did a great job of showcasing that. So this is actually the more popular one bedroom. If it's something you're interested in, let us know, because it does have one of the key features I've seen that people are gravitating to it. If you look at it there, it's an 8 by 29-foot balcony. So that way you can kind of enjoy all the sights and the sounds in the area from the natural wildlife. Just a great floor plan, a little bit larger. So we certainly can talk about that, but that's again, type B, just giving you the different array of one bedrooms that are still available in Museo. And then this is the type C. So this is your two bedroom, the only available left. So if there is an interest in a two bedroom, the residence number is A36. It's listed at 733. I mentioned earlier, we have one bedroom starting in the 400s. Those would range to the mid 500s. And then we have just this one remaining two bedroom at 733. So if there is interest there, just let us know. This is also a different type D, just a little different layout, adding a little extra space in the kitchen area there. You can see the island there for breakfast bar, kind of sitting there with a family there in the mornings with your cup of coffee. And then just to this point here, this would be the exterior of the buildings, just highlighting what David and Joseph already touched on. I've been here in Costa Rica for 14 years. You don't see a lot of projects that are actually working with nature. You can see the exterior buildings, whether it's the stone, the greenery on the outside. It is inviting to the animals around the project so that they would continue to come through it. We are an animal corridor leading down to the ocean. So that's just a fantastic thought process, all the way from developers to architects to Blueprint Global. The vision of the project is really special. It's something you just don't see in Costa Rica. So we're super excited about that. And our existing owners have kind of felt that when they come. So we encourage you to come look for yourself. Here again, the view of the rooftop pool. So that way you understand that there are elevators and you can access that within the building. Again, outlining just the price ranges on the one bedrooms here, and that highlighting where 50% sold. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to William. That'll tell you a little bit more about the Sorrento residences.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for turning out today. I think it's worth mentioning before I even get into Sorrento Reserve that I actually purchased in Museo myself, the ones that Mark was just showing you. In fact, I bought one of the ones that he showed you the virtual tour for. So I'm really happy about that. I could not sell anything that I would not actually buy myself. So I have put my money where my mouth is, and I'm the proud owner of A21, and I'm stoked to see. I can't wait to see the progress happening soon, and I'm really, really excited to move in 2027. I chose that one because I really wanted to be in the action. I love the idea of being in the downtown. Yes, the seaside sold out really fast because everybody's obsessed with being able to see the ocean, but I don't think enough people appreciate how close to the ocean the Museo condos are, and that it's just going to be a quick shortcut through the beautiful mangroves. And there's going to be so many things to do there. So I'm a young guy, I'm by myself. I'm really excited about being able to do all the people watching and having all that stuff to do in the downtown. But if that's not your speed and you're looking for something at the opposite end of the spectrum, then Sereno Reserve is the perfect place for you. Sereno is where it's located is approximately 1 kilometer away from the nearest beach access point. It's also a very short distance from all the action that Mark was just telling you about. So even though it's removed from it enough that you'll have your silence and your peace and quiet, a quick walk or short drive or a golf cart trip or even one of our complimentary shuttles, and you'll be downtown in no time. But where it's located, it's 1 kilometer from the nearest beach access point. So it's a very quick walk, less than 10 minutes to the beach from there, or about a 2-minute golf cart ride. It's extremely quiet. I take clients here all the time. Every couple of days, we take a drive over there. We're lucky if we pass a single car on the way there. The road that leads to here from the airport is seldom traveled because anybody going to Coco or further south is going to take the next access road. So hardly any traffic even comes to this part of town, let alone makes the right-hand turn that would go to Sereno. It's very, very light traffic there. There's no noise. Every time I go there, I just, hear the birds and the breeze, and that's about it. The valley views are super lush and green. And the nice thing about this area is that it seems to stay that way all year long, which is pretty remarkable. Up in Guanacaste, it can get dry and brown and just looks like a tinderbox. But for some reason, our bay manages to get just enough moisture that we have nice green trees all throughout the year. And speaking of trees, like Joseph mentioned before, it's really true that enormous efforts have been made to protect the trees in our development, and especially in Sereno. Unlike a lot of the Canadian style developments and American style developments, where our homes are going to be carefully inserted between and within the trees rather than displacing them. So that's something really special. And I can actually tell you an anecdote about lot 88. I had a buyer, I love them if they're watching, that were really crazy about that lot because it's at the end of the cul-de-sac there, and they liked the fact that there wouldn't be a lot of cars driving by their house. They liked being at the end of the cul-de-sac. That was a 2-bedroom floor plan that was assigned to that lot, and they would have been more than happy to spend the extra money to get a 3-bedroom home on that lot. We did our best. We went over there and did our measurements and our surveys and stuff like that. We found a Guanacaste tree in the backyard, and let's call it a $300,000 tree because that tree is going to survive. So, we're not all talk when it comes to that stuff. Trees of a certain species and of a certain maturity have to remain in place by law. And, that's not the only reason we're doing it either. I also think there's, huge benefits to the owners because it's going to create an ambiance and shade and a habitat for the wildlife that everyone's here to enjoy. So it speaks to coexisting with nature again. So this is what the entrance into Sereno will look like. It will be gated and have a guard there 24 hours. It's very, very artistically done. You can see the Bahia Papagayo welcome sign there, all the rocks and beautiful natural features and stuff like that. This is the only way in and the only way out of Sereno. So, it's going to be tremendously safe. Tremendously safe. I get questions about safety all the time. And when it comes to Sereno, scratch that one off your list of concerns because you'll be able to sleep like a baby in there. In fact, you won't even have to lock your door. This is the clubhouse. Don't confuse the clubhouse with the beach club because while the beach club is going to be spectacular, Sereno is going to have something very special dedicated just to them. So again, there's only 90 Sereno villas. So with 90 villas, 90 families, that's not a huge amount of people that are going to be sharing this. It's going to have an Olympic sized pool. It's going to have your tennis courts, your pickleball courts, obviously. Everybody cannot live without their pickleball these days. Lots of children's play areas, and everybody asks about a gym. So, you know, the lucky thing about the Sereno is that they will have their own gym. That's a beautiful shot of the pool. Like I said, it's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Social gathering areas, you know, we want to foster community. A lot of the people that are going to be moving here don't necessarily have a lot of friends here. They're taking a chance and kind of starting fresh like we all did. You can do it. You'd be amazed at how fast you can make friends here. We're going to give you a head start by giving you this grilling area and gaming area and stuff like that where everybody can, you know, come together and live life the way you should. That's a nice shot of the gym. It'll have everything. You'll have all your machines, all of your weights. Looks like a great place to get some exercise in the morning before you take it to the beach. Okay, so the villas, we have 3 different floor plans here. There is a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, and a 4-bedroom floor plan. The 2 and 3 bedrooms are bungalows, and the 4-bedroom is 2 bedrooms below and 2 up top. The interior square footage for the 2 is about 1,432 square feet. The B, 1,680 square feet, and the C, 2,431 square feet. This is just a beautiful video again of the entryway. Like I said, top security. Here is your sports areas, your pickleballs, all your sitting and socializing areas where you'll be able to come together and meet your neighbors, make some friends, have some parties, do some sun tanning, do some swimming, get some exercise, stay fit. It's a beautiful shot of one of the lots. The nice thing about these is that they are going to be beautifully landscaped. They all come with their own plunge pool, every single one of them. A stunning stone oval tub in the master bathroom. That is not an upgrade. This is standard with all of the different villas. The finishes are absolutely as high-end as it gets, and everything that you see in these images is included, from the ceiling fans to the light fixtures, your linens, your pillows, your forks, your knives, your cutting boards. You will not have to bring anything with you except your suitcase and your clothes, and you can move right in. And same with your guests, if you have those, or if you put this into the rental program, it's 1,000% turnkey. We're going to hit the ground running and start making money on day one. Again, these are the different floor plans and the different sizes. So this is Villa A. This is the 2-bedroom. There's not a huge difference between the 2-bedroom and the 3rd bedroom, other than the fact that the 3rd bedroom has the lockout. And for those of you that don't know what a lockout is, it's basically an in-law suite. So when you compare this to the next slide, Villa B, the 3rd bedroom is on the other side there. It has its own separate entrance. The beautiful thing about that is that it adds a lot of privacy if there's more than one group staying in the villa, 2 different families staying in the villa, friends perhaps, but also it's a huge advantage in the rental program because it adds a lot of flexibility and versatility when it comes to money making. Because if you consider these 2 different units, rather than holding out for the perfect group of 8 to rent this out, you could rent it out to a group of 6, a group of 2, group of 4. You know, it's effectively 2 different rental units that it's just a much better business model in addition to the privacy and enjoyment factors. It's a beautiful shot of the backyard. I'll just remind you that everything in the pictures is included. It's a very, very high-end furniture package. The selection of the stuff that's in there is going to be very durable because it's going to have to, you know, endure short-term rentals and stuff like that. So we've made very wise selections about the type of furniture that went in there. It's designed by the best, so it's going to be, you know, impeccably designed and everything in harmony. The nice thing about buying everything all at once is not only do you not have to go to the store and source it, but it's all going to complement itself. So everything from your dinner plates and your glassware and your forks and knives to the placemats and all the little details, it's just going to all come together with that Bahia Papagayo color palette and, you know, all be in harmony with itself. So that's the 4-bedroom. You can see the 2 bedrooms on the right stuck on top. If you just align the staircase with it, you can envision the 2-story there. This is a nice shot of the outside of the 2-story. And that is also the 4-bedroom floor plan. Again, I'll remind you that the pool is included in all of them. That beautiful indoor, outdoor master bathroom with the oval tub is included in all of them. It's basically like having your own spa in your own house. And again, with the pool here and the pool at the clubhouse, you'll have options when it comes to like swimming, hosting, all of that fun stuff. And this is the interior of the floor. I'll just recap really quickly how many were remaining there. So Villa A, that's the 2-bedroom. We're down to our last 4. You can get those for around $1 million right now. Villa B are the 3-bedroom with the lockout. That's the one that I think is my favorite. There's 9 of those remaining. And then of the 4 bedrooms, we're down to our last 3. So if you got a big family or you like having lots of friends over, those are going to go. And now I'll just make a quick note on the mangrove residences. So while Sereno is in pre-construction and pre-sale, this is what these guys have done in the past. So you can actually go there right now. These are on site. These are existing. So there is proof of concept here. And they did a fantastic job on these. When I take clients through these, they're always impressed at how rugged and durable everything is. If you rattle the doors and you open and close the sliders, everything can really stand up to a lot of abuse. Same with the furniture. While looking very, very elegant, it's also very tough and rugged. And these things perform phenomenally well in the rental program. There are weeks in the year where a single villa can make $14,000 or $15,000, no lie. We are down to our last 2. Villa 4 is reserved, but the 3-bedroom villa is still available for just under 1.9, and the final 2-bedroom villa is just under 1.8. You can move into those today, completely 1000% turnkey with everything that you see in the photos. You have access to mangrove, it's on the mangrove property, and also they did a great job of keeping the trees over there. Like was mentioned earlier by Mark, there's some great incentives right now. If you contact either of us, we can get into detail about what those are, but there's really the best time to buy at Bahia Papagayo is yesterday. So the sooner you get involved, the better. Give us a ring and we'll tell you why now is your best chance of getting a smoking deal. Virtual toolkit. All of you should have it by now, but if not, this is your one-stop shop for absolutely everything. All of the information is bundled up very intelligently and cohesively in one place. You go to the virtual toolkit. I'd be surprised if you have too many questions after that. So it's a great place to peruse your questions. And if there is anything outstanding, then definitely get in touch with myself or Mark. So the other nice thing about Costa Rica, I have a ton of links that I send to our prospective buyers, and it seems like another one comes through to me in my email every single day. These things are great for marketing, but they're not all, it's not just fluff either. When it comes to like these happy index and things like that, you kind of have to experience it for yourself. I'm not going to harp on it, but Costa Rica is consistently ranked as one of the happiest places in the world. You come here and you kind of know what they're talking about a little bit. It's one of the best places to retire in the world. This isn't just one, the Global Retirement Index says so, but so do a whole host of others. And then the Blue Zone is super interesting. There's only 5 of them in the entire planet, and it's where people live the longest lives. Why do you think that is? There was an event right across the hall from our sales gallery here at Mangrove Hotel a couple of months ago where there was a whole group of probably 20 or 30 centenarians, people that have lived longer than 100 years old, well into their hundreds, and they were having these beautiful portraits painted of themselves in there. For a whole host of reasons, living in Costa Rica will literally extend your life. National Geographic, it's one of, loves to talk about Costa Rica. Tons of awards when it comes to sustainable tourism and protecting the natural resources, which we do give a damn about. And ecological significance and natural heritage and beauty. There's just, Costa Rica is definitely all the buzz right now, and it earns it. Let's go.
Awesome, William. Thank you so much for your presentation. Mark as well, David, for all this great information for our clients and the participants to understand further about this project. So everyone, the project is on the move. It's moving forward. Permits have been received for certain parcels. Other ones are coming very soon. Construction is about to start. So this is real. This project is moving forward. It's not, many projects are often questioned when they're announced by developers in Costa Rica. We have adopted the North American approach when it comes to sales and marketing and being structured and offering the most information as possible and being clear. If you have any questions, any concerns, reach out to the team. We're there to answer all your questions. If you want to come and come for a discovery tour, we do have special programs for discovery tour. You can come on down as preferred rates, have dinner on us, come and see the resort, come and see the location, the site, and have a better appreciation of this location. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you. And if you have any questions, meanwhile, please do not hesitate to call, send emails to William and Mark or to one of us. And we'll be very happy to answer all your questions. So thank you again. Thank you for joining this webinar, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.